What's up guys, this is RG and I'm coming at you again with another high definition broadcast. This time I'm going to do the Witch Doctor PvP skills as Theorycrafting, because some of my subscribers wanted to see the Witch Doctor after patch 5 and see what new skills I would put on him. So what we're going to do first is this Acid Cloud, as I did before in my other video. So it's going to rain down initial damage of 125% weapon damage in an area of effect, followed by 25% weapon damage per second to enemies who remain in the area. And we're going to gear that with the Indigo Rune that gives the increased AoE radius, so it's going to be 44 yards now, and it deals 47%. It's reminiscent of this here, the Alabaster Rune. It's going to do 147, and instead of giving you an AoE radius, it'll make the actual dot that stays on the ground. It's like the AoE radius stays there and it gives you 29% damage instead of 25. It's much better if you get the yards, because most of the people in the PvP are going to just instantly get out of the radius right when it drops. So just the initial damage is what we're boosting here, plus the increased AoE radius for the initial damage. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is Haunt. We're going to equip that with the Resentful Spirit, which is the Alabaster Rune. So the original damage of Haunt is 500% over 15 seconds. We're actually switching it up to 236% weapon damage, but it's over 3 seconds. So it's a significant damage increase, because you're going to be using your Haunt and your Acid Cloud as your damaging spells. These are the only two spells you're using to damage, so you're going to keep recycling the Haunt on the character, refreshing that dot, and use your Acid Cloud as much as possible to get as many people as possible in that AoE radius. So there you go. Those are the two damage skills there. Next one's going to be Horrify. This is a crowd control skill. So you're going to be able to control your enemies with this skill, and it's in a 12-yard radius. It makes them feared for 5 seconds, and we're going to use the increased time duration on that one. So it's going to be, instead of 5 seconds, it'll go to 9 seconds. So that's what we're going to use for Horrify. For Spirit Walk, we're going to equip that with a Alabaster Rune, so you gain 6% of your maximum life every second. Oh, excuse me, guys. While you're Spirit Walking. So every time it's up, you're going to want to use your Spirit Walk if you're low on life, so you can get your maximum health up. If you feel like you have enough health skills, you can switch it to maximum mana instead. So that will be good if you can do that. But I would suggest either using the Alabaster or the Golden Rune on this one. So next one we're going to do is Zombie Dogs. And obviously those are your summoned zombie dogs, and you're going to use the lifelink. 40% of the damage taken is absorbed by your zombie dogs, so that's what you're going to use for those guys. So they're going to be able to act as a shield and a life barrier for you. Just another source of damage reduction. Next one we're going to do is Sacrifice, and we're going to gear that with the Indigo Runestone. So it's going to sacrifice all of your zombie dogs when you use Sacrifice, and it deals damage. So it is another source of damage besides your Acid Cloud and Haunt, but it's not a consistent source of damage. You can use it as a source of damage, as a last hit, or something that you can use for damage if you need life, or maybe all your skills. You don't have enough mana for your skills and you need to use some damage on them. You can use a Sacrifice, but mainly you're going to be using it for the rune effect, so either gaining life, or you can actually gain damage on it, or mana. I would suggest these three. So if you want to go really offensive with it, you can increase your damage done by 30%, or 31% that is, for every sacrificed dog for 30 seconds. So that means that if you sacrifice all 3 dogs, you're going to get 93% on your damage buff. So you can do that, and that's for 60 seconds. So you can go ahead and do that and then re-summon your dogs, and you'll still have the buff on. Or you can use it for a mana recharge or a health recharge. I wouldn't suggest using it for a slow, just because the health, mana, and damage buffs are way better than as if you were going to use it for a slow. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the life. And then the next passive skills, this is the new passive skill here. It says that it reduces all damage taken by you and your pets by 20%. You definitely want it for the 20% reduced damage on yourself as well as your pet, because remember, we're having the zombie dogs take some damage for us. 40% of the damage taken is absorbed by your zombie dogs. So your zombie dogs will be able to stay alive longer, and you yourself will be able to stay alive longer with the damage reduction. Next one we're going to do is the Spirit Attunement. And with that, we're going to be able to increase our maximum mana by 20%. So you're going to need a lot of mana pool as a witch doctor, and regenerate 2% of your maximum mana per second. And remember, if you have higher maximum mana, then your spirit walk can increase your maximum mana higher. And once you use your sacrifice, your maximum mana, you're going to be able to use a lot more of your skills with all that mana that you have. So there we have it, and the last one we have is this Bad Medicine. I changed this up, so whenever you deal poison damage to an enemy, their damage is reduced by 40%. So remember, you have an Acid Cloud. It's an AoE, meaning it's an area of an effect. So anybody in that area is going to be affected by 1, the initial damage, and also the poison damage that is followed up, so whoever stays in that area, as well as the 40% damage reduction. So anytime you cast your Acid Cloud, anybody who's affected by your Acid Cloud is also being affected by your damage reduction. And also, if you pop your Acid Cloud right on top of you and sit inside of the poison that it stays, you see it's followed by a 25% weapon damage per second to enemies who remain in the area. So if you stay in that poison cloud in that area of effect, you're going to be able to mitigate any damage by 40%. So when somebody's on top of you, say a barbarian, just drop a poison cloud, or an acid cloud that is, on top of yourself, and any enemy inside there is going to be having their damage reduced by 40%, and that's for 3 seconds. So another 3 seconds later, you could cast it on top of yourself, or you could just continuously cast acid clouds on top of yourself while haunting them and horrifying them. So there you go. And yeah, this is going to be a really good build for the Witch Doctor. Hope you guys use it, and yeah, go ahead and send me up your guys's your own builds, and tell me what you would do, and maybe I'll post that on a video, and I'll say this is so and so and his build, and if I like it and I think it's a good build, I'll definitely go ahead and shoot you a video and mention your name and all that good stuff. So thanks guys for watching, and yeah, I'm still waiting on that account administrator to get me back, so you guys will hear of the news right when I get it, and yeah, I'll share that with you guys. And thank you guys for keep watching, and keep on watching, tell your friends about it. I'm gonna put a subscribe button up there. So thanks guys again, take it easy, peace.